You're probably spending way more time fixing AI outputs than you should be. Maybe you're rewriting prompts 3, 4, or 5 times just to get something usable. Or worse, you're getting confident-sounding answers that are completely wrong. Well, I've spent the last year testing every major AI model out there, GPT-5, Claude, Gemini, and here's what surprised me. The models aren't the problem. Most people are just asking the wrong way. And that gap between good prompts and bad prompts, it's costing you hours every single week. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how AI prompting has evolved in 2026 and the specific techniques that'll help you get better results in less time. We're talking about practices that reduce hallucinations, boost accuracy, and unlock features most people don't even know exist. By the end of this, you'll understand how to structure prompts that actually work, and you'll save yourself from that frustrating back and forth with AI. First up, let's talk about what's actually changed with these models, because the difference between 2023 and now is bigger than you think. The evolution. What's actually different now? Remember when ChatGPT first dropped? We were all amazed that we could just talk to it. Type a question, get an answer. Simple. But here's where it gets interesting. That was basically the training wheels version of what we have now. The models we're working with in 2026 are fundamentally different beasts. Take GPT-4o. The O stands for Omni, by the way. It doesn't just read text anymore. You can throw images at it, audio files, even video, and it'll respond in kind. Need it to analyze a chart? Done. Want it to listen to a recording and transcribe it? Easy. The response time is insane too. We're talking about 232 milliseconds for audio responses. That's basically human conversation speed. But that's not even the craziest part. The context window, essentially how much information these models can hold in their working memory, has exploded. Early GPT-4 could handle about 8,000 tokens. Now, we're looking at millions. Claude can process up to 2 million tokens in a single prompt. Google's Gemini handles 10 million. Do you know what that means practically? You can literally feed it entire books, multiple documents, whole research papers, and it'll actually remember all of it while answering your questions. And then there's the reasoning capabilities. You've probably noticed that when you ask AI to think step by step, it suddenly gets way smarter. That's not a coincidence. Researchers discovered that explicitly prompting models to break down their thinking, what they call chain of thought prompting, dramatically improves accuracy, especially on complex problems. In 2026, this isn't some advanced technique anymore. It's standard practice. What really changed the game, though, is how these systems now integrate with actual tools. Earlier models had knowledge cutoffs. They literally couldn't tell you about anything that happened after their training date. Now they can search the web, pull from databases, access real-time information. You're not just talking to a static knowledge base anymore. You're talking to something that can actively go find what it doesn't know. The best practices, how to actually use this stuff. All right, now that you understand what's possible, let's talk about what actually matters. How do you get these models to do what you want? First rule, be ridiculously specific. I cannot stress this enough. The difference between write a poem and write a short inspiring poem about artificial intelligence in the style of Maya Angelou, focusing on themes of human potential, is the difference between generic garbage and something actually usable. Every detail you include narrows down the possibilities and gives the model clearer guardrails to work within. Think about it like giving directions. If someone asks you how to get to the coffee shop and you just say, go downtown, that's useless. But if you say, take Main Street for 3 blocks, turn left at the red building, it's the second shop on your right. Now, they can actually get there. Same principle with AI. The more specific you are about what you want, the less the model has to guess. Here's a practical example. Instead of asking, tell me about climate change, try something like, list 3 major renewable energy breakthroughs that happened between 2020 and 2026, and explain each in 1 sentence, focusing specifically on solar technology. See the difference? One prompt gets you a Wikipedia-style essay. The other gets you exactly what you asked for, nothing more, nothing less. Second, put your instructions at the beginning. This might sound obvious, but you'd be shocked how many people bury the actual task in the middle of a long explanation. Start with what you want. Use clear labels, something like task or instructions, followed by the specific request. Then add context if needed, not the other way around. Third, use examples when words aren't enough. Sometimes explaining what you want takes longer than just showing it. This is called few-shot prompting, and it's incredibly powerful. Let's say you want the AI to rewrite customer service emails in a specific tone. Don't just describe the tone. Show it an example of a before and after transformation. The model will pattern match and replicate that style way more accurately than if you just described it in words. Fourth, force it to show its work. For anything complex, math problems, logical reasoning, strategic planning, add something like, "Let's think step by step," or "Explain your reasoning before giving the final answer." This activates that chain of thought capability we talked about earlier. The model will literally write out its thinking process, and you'd be amazed how much this improves accuracy. In tests, adding just the letter A at the end of a math problem made models go from random guessing to showing complete correct solutions. Fifth, trim the fat. Every unnecessary word in your prompt is wasting space and potentially confusing the model. Be direct. Cut out fluffy phrases like, "I was wondering if you could possibly..." Just ask for what you want. Remember, in API usage, every token costs money. In practice, every extra token costs time. Keep it tight. And here's something most people don't know. You can frame the AI's role to completely change how it responds. Instead of just asking a question, try starting with something like, "You are an expert historian who specializes in explaining complex events to beginners. Now explain the causes of World War I." That role framing gives the model a lens to view the task through, and it'll adjust its language, depth, and style accordingly. One more thing. Iteration is normal. Your first prompt probably won't be perfect, and that's fine. The pros don't get it right on the first try either. They start simple, check the output, then refine. Maybe the response was too long, so they add in under 100 words. Maybe it was too technical, so they specify, "Explain like I'm a beginner." Prompting is a conversation, not a one-shot command. Real examples. Let's see this in action. Theory's great, but let's look at what this actually looks like in practice. Example 1. Specific queries. Bad prompt. Tell me about renewable energy. Good prompt. Summarize the 3 most significant solar energy innovations between 2020 and 2026 in under 75 words, focusing on efficiency improvements. The first one gets you an essay. The second gets you a targeted summary you can actually use. One guide I tested showed that when they made this exact change, the output went from generic rambling to a focused 3-point answer that hit every requirement. Example 2, chain of thought reasoning. Here's a real test. Ask the model, "Is 41 the sum of 2 distinct odd numbers?" Without guidance, it might just guess. But add this. Check step by step if 41 is the sum of 2 distinct odd numbers. A. Now watch what happens. The model lists out odd numbers, 1, 5, 7, 13, 15, checks different combinations, and correctly concludes, no, because all sums of 2 odd numbers are even. That A triggered the step-by-step thinking, and suddenly we got perfect accuracy instead of a coin flip. Example 3. Coding prompts. When you want code, you can actually trick the model into coding mode with strategic lead-in words. Instead of write a Python function to convert miles to kilometers, try this. Write a Python function that asks for miles and converts to kilometers. Import. That word import at the end signals, "Start writing Python now," and the model immediately shifts into code generation mode. It's a small hack that makes a huge difference in output quality. Example 4. using the system role. In ChatGPT or API calls, you can set a system message that defines the AI's behavior for the whole conversation. Something like, "You are a friendly customer service agent who solves problems politely and never makes excuses." Then every user message gets filtered through that lens. You can even combine this with example conversations to really dial in the exact tone and style you want. The pros and cons, what you need to know. All right, let's be real about what's good and what's still broken. The good news, these 2026 models are legitimately impressive. GPT-5 can generate complex, well-structured code from a single prompt. GPT-4o can analyze images and hold voice conversations in real time. The context windows mean you can work with entire documents without losing track. And when you nail your prompts, the efficiency gains are massive. Less back and forth, fewer hallucinations, consistent results. For specific tasks, you can even build custom GPTs that package your perfect prompt with tools and knowledge, making it reusable without having to type the same instructions every time. But here's the catch. Even with all these improvements, the models still hallucinate if your prompts are vague. OpenAI literally said reducing hallucinations was a major focus for GPT-5, which tells you it's still a problem. These models also have knowledge cutoffs. GPT-4o's was October 2023, so they won't know about anything after that unless you feed it external data. Security's another issue. Prompt injection attacks, where malicious users trick the AI into ignoring your instructions, are a real concern if you're building anything public-facing. And there's the cost factor. Every token in your prompt burns compute resources. Inefficient prompts aren't just slower, they're more expensive. Plus, prompt engineering can get brittle. Small wording changes might completely shift the output, so you end up spending time fine-tuning prompts when you really just want results. The bottom line? Prompting in 2026 is powerful, but it requires skill. You can't just throw questions at AI and expect magic. You need to understand how these systems work and craft your prompts accordingly. Wrap up. What you should do next. So here's what it all comes down to. Prompting is both an art and a science now. The basic rule hasn't changed. Clarity and precision get you better results. But the tools are so much more powerful than they were even a year ago. Multimodal inputs, massive context windows, integrated tool use, all of this means your prompts can do things that were impossible in 2023. The techniques we covered, being specific, using examples, forcing step-by-step reasoning, framing the AI's role, these aren't optional nice-to-haves. They're the difference between spending 10 minutes fighting with AI and getting exactly what you need in 30 seconds. And that gap compounds. Better prompts mean better outputs, which mean less editing, which means more time for the work that actually matters. My advice? Start experimenting. Pick one task you do regularly with AI and spend time crafting a really good prompt for it. Test different phrasings. Add examples. See what happens when you force reasoning. Save the prompts that work. Over time, you'll build up a library of patterns you can remix for new situations, and stay updated. Tools like custom GPTs and AI agents are evolving fast. What works today might be outdated in 6 months, but if you understand these core principles, specificity, structure, iteration, you'll adapt as the technology changes. The people who master prompting in 2026 aren't going to be replaced by AI. They're going to be the ones using AI to do work that nobody else can match. So get good at talking to these models. It's worth it.